Good afternoon, everyone. Here I will reply the material I have heard before. Good pay attention. What do you think about when you think about your teaching? If someone asked you to describe the most recent lesson you thought of you've seen too, what will you talk about and telling that story? What you find yourself describing your students, your teaching, the interaction or the context that led to the whole thing happening? Maybe teacher, maybe you talk about yourself, maybe you like to, but you stop yourself because as a teacher we are not supposed to talk about yourself. If we asked you to well in this sentence, my classroom is blank centers. We're trying to come think about how we can use the research that goes on, and I think you are probably ever that there's a lot of great research around learning and education that don't necessarily make into the classroom, or that doesn't necessarily get translated into practical wisdom for teacher, and so we're hoping you could help you us think through a problem here. So this is I think this a super tricky question, because the best thing that teacher can actually do to tower of learners is to be tower of who they are, and so I know that sound is little bit odd, because I think as teacher we're used to practicing a student center, and then really specific to teaching and king of unique about teaching is the perceived self, and then makes a lot of sense, because the teacher is only a teacher because they have student, right? So the perceived self is that the awareness that you perceive by your students, by their families, by your colleagues, your director, and so on. And having and the fairness that those three child are always a part of you, and then who actually interesting with the student is what I mean by having a sense of self. It to me sound like there are three a little bit of carry over or connection with kind of Jungian understanding of identity. The distinction here is that a teacher is not taught how to see themselves. That why a teacher is taught typically from kind of training model of being selfless. So we're never teaching who the students is. We're always teaching who we believe the student is, and that's based on who we are. Yeah, and so if we don't know who we are and we're not being taught to explore in that way, and that's actually very difficult obstacle while teaching difference of who we are was or private self or public self, uh, our perceived self. Having then and the awareness allows us to start and covering we see student in certain ways. And I guess for me I'm curious with the overlap between those three different self. How hard is that exploration process for people? I wouldn't say it's unbelievably difficult because we don't know what that will look like. Thank you for listening to me so far. Bye bye.